Vice President Harris throwing it back to 2008 in some ways, hiring a number of notable alumni from President Obama's campaign for hers. They include the mastermind behind Obama's winning strategy, David Plouffe, along with former senior advisor Stephanie Cutter, Mitch Stewart, the 2012 Battleground States Director, and the former head of public opinion research, David Binder. So some familiar faces there that certainly have been around since Obama and continue to kind of find their way back into these national campaigns. Do you all think, is this a case of all hands on deck, bring in who you've got to win? Should anybody be reading into this, bridge under just water under the bridge between any kind of tensions between the Obama and Biden camps?
No, I mean, this is part of the I'm sure this is part of the coalescing of the party. I mean, first of all, these are like veteran, extraordinary people. And a lot of them have been very involved in the campaign, even in some informal ways. I mean, Stephanie Cutter was basically running the convention with Mignon Moore. So she's had a private firm, but she's barely stepped foot outside of Democratic politics. You also have people like Jen Palmieri who've come back in. These are like the A-team. And I was surprised, actually, that she did not make more significant changes at the top of the campaign in those first few weeks. But I think it turned out to be exactly right. Like, keep the steady ship. Don't mess with it. She's got a loyal team of folks in Delaware. They're all killing themselves for her. And just bring in the big guns. Like, they are taking no chances.
I also think, having run campaigns, I look at, and if I'm not mistaken, I think every one of the folks that you just mentioned there have done international campaigns. And in the U.S., we have very long campaigns. Internationally, they're snap elections. So they're 60 to 90 days in some cases.
Love it.
So bringing in somebody that has kind of that foreign experience, but also the domestic experience, because she is running a snap election.
That's right. That's right.
But look, I agree with everything that's been said. This is the A-team. They're coming in. A lot of them have worked with the people who have been running the Biden campaign, and so it will make for a much more seamless integration. But remember, that campaign was built for a Joe Biden candidacy, and now there's a new candidate. And so there's got to be some recognition that it's going to change a bit. And I give her a lot of credit for keeping that campaign infrastructure entirely intact. I haven't heard of anybody losing their job, but these new people are coming in, they'll be fully integrated, and they will help her make this campaign just a little bit more her. And that's not a reflection on the people who were there. If anything, it's just bolstering what they've already built.
The history piece, right? I mean, I think that's what's so powerful about David Plouffe. The reason why everyone said they wanted David Plouffe back is because David Plouffe oversaw this history-making, transformative campaign with Barack Obama. And that is absolutely what this is. If Vice President Harris is on track to become the first woman president, the first woman president of color, it is history-making, and she is completely changing the game in the process. Everything about what's happened in the last few weeks is game-changing, and nobody knows that better than David Plouffe, and I think that's why people really wanted him, that he helped Obama embrace that mantle, to take on the sort of greatness of that moment, the things that were bigger than him, that were really about a movement. And that's really what's so magical about what the Harris campaign has been able to do in such a short period of time. They've embraced this movement that's bigger than them. And I think we're going to keep seeing that over the next 97 days.
If you had asked me 2 years ago what the Democratic dream team of operative would be, I would say whatever it is, it's got David Plouffe and Jen O'Malley Dillon sitting at the top of it.
Well,
and
that's what you have.
That's what we know.
It is, what's interesting?
He's also running a lot of foreign elections, so I was not surprised Messina didn't come back.
It's interesting, too, because she isn't known for whereas Joe Biden, also older, but comes in with Steve Ricchetti and Donald and all these people that have been with him for decades. She doesn't necessarily have a key group around her that's been with her through all of the iterations. And so she likely is wanting to start to build that real inner circle.
You might have heard a little bit about this, but I went to my first Democratic rally this week on Tuesday.
You don't say. No one in Georgia seems to notice.
It was like an out-of-body experience, but it was great. Saw lots of great friends and folks I served with, and just really, really good. But the thing I kept hearing over and over and over again from colleagues that were in elected office, people I knew just in general and from the media was it felt a lot like the Obama run. There was an energy in that room. There was just something different than just an election. It was a movement that was showing up. There was like this release valve of tension. And when I see these moves, and I'm still learning these names, right? I don't really know who these people are. I don't really run in these circles. But when you see that they used to work in the Obama campaigns, you watch this same sheet of music starting to show back up again.
Well, and compare it to 2008 and what happened, in 2016 and the sort of splits between the Bernie Sanders wing and Hillary Clinton. Like there's none of that. None of that is going to happen this time.
Yes.
And I think that there is 96 days. They don't have a lot of time to get in, to get pissed off at each other. The thing that's so magical, I think, about this moment is that there is this sense of we are not going to let this opportunity get away from us. We lost it in 16. A lot of those folks will never forgive themselves for the mistakes they made. A lot of voters will never forgive themselves. They absolutely are not going to let that happen this time. And everyone's willing to put in the time and the energy to make sure.
So you're saying Kamala is going to go to Wisconsin?
Yes.
Because Hillary didn't. I mean, that was the issue.
I missed what you were trying to say. Yeah, I mean, look, there's nothing she's not going to do.
Look, yeah, I mean, to that point,
sorry,
right?
I didn't get that reference.
One of the biggest frustrations, even for those Democrats that wanted Joe Biden to stay in, right? There was a frustration that there wasn't the feeling of a campaign, right? And I'm not talking about the campaign operation, but he wasn't out there. He wasn't.
Well, I thought he was running for governor of Pennsylvania because it seemed like every weekend he was in Pennsylvania.
But that's not the issue now, right? Yeah. She is out there nonstop. They just put out a press release announcing 6 states they're going to
all the swing
next
states
week.
after she chooses the VP.
There is just this energy that you're feeling is fueled by the candidate and the operation that she's running now and her travel schedule. It feels like they're operating on.
All right, we got to leave it there. Everyone stay with me. Up next, the panel's going to give us their nightcaps. We'll be right back. We're back, and it's time for the news nightcap. You each have 30 seconds to say your piece, so please keep to 30 seconds. Mo, you get to start.
Elon Musk is back in the news for his involvement in this election. The latest is this super PAC that he's launched to support Donald Trump is making it easy for people, reportedly, to go and register to vote. You go there and they click on a button that says register to vote, and it takes you to a form where you dump all your personal information in. Oh. And you know what it doesn't do? Register you to vote.
Oh, no.
And so this super PAC, these well-meaning people who think they are registering to vote are giving all their data to this super PAC that is going to help Donald Trump. For a party that's really worried about election fraud, let's maybe take a look in the mirror sometimes.
Okay, Lauren?
It's the summer of joy, and Kamala Harris is the joyful warrior. She is leading a kind of turnaround in this moment where the Olympics are giving people hope and the release of hostages yesterday are giving people hope. And Americans have been tired of dark messages, of all of the negative views of America, all of it. And she came along at this moment just when Americans needed a summer of joy. And she's the joyful warrior. And I think that's going to make Donald Trump look very small and very angry and very meek and very weak. And it is a moment of total transformation in politics that I think is going to last through the summer.
Wow. All right, Jeff?